Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. It is 7 a.m. And why am I in the office? Well, I'll tell you one reason. When you have an employee that says, hey, I'm willing to come work on Saturday, I want to learn more from you. I don't even want to get paid. I just want to learn. Well, hey, you got to value those people. You got to honor those people that want to put the extra effort out there. And so what am I going to bring up here today? What are we going to follow up on? Bitcoin's price action, of course. And I'm even going to reveal one of my leverage positions that I put on the board here the other day, AKA on Mr. Luna versus the US dollar. And I'm just going to kind of go over that a little bit and then give you my thoughts on, the price action to come in the next week. I will be in Bitcoin Miami, so guess what? Probably won't be seeing any streams next week. So I did want to offer up a little bit of some more boring TA, and that's what it is. It's boring, guys. We just go over the same thing over and over and over and over again, and that way it really, cement. Why do I make these videos, right? Chris, why are you making these videos? When I put my trade ideas into thoughts, well, it actually helps me quite a bit. So that's why. And hopefully for you guys, it's not too boring, right? And maybe you learned something here. And the question is, am I going to make this a full screen? Can I do it? Can I do it here? Oh, I got to hit the little three dots here, and there my screen gets a little more pretty here. And so here we have Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And we did say yesterday, hey, very, very likely we're going to get a bounce off of this 45.5 region. And, just so everybody's aware, price action over the weekend isn't always the most valid. This is the one you want to be watching is Mr. CME, where the most professional traders trade. And Bitcoin has, technically plays out very nicely. And we did have a gap fill last week on Thursday and a nice little bounce on Friday. And how did the week close here? This was our weekly closing candle on CMEs, and that is called a doji. That's a candle of indecision. And why am I still biased for a move to our $50,000 to $52,000 target? Well, I will tell you why specifically. Right here on the 5-day, on the daily, we did have what's known as the silver cross. The yellow 21 crosses the green 55 exponential moving average. And this is one of the easiest trade strategies out there. And by the way, if you want to learn how to set up TradingView, there's a link in the description below. You can set it up for free. That way you can follow along and begin to learn about what all this stuff actually is. Because every single candle, that represents one day of price action or 5 hours or 6 hours or 5 days or a week, they all mean something. Every single candle has a little name for it. And we're going to be putting out a how to understand candles video here soon. But Bitcoin, basically playing out very nicely on the 5-day as we've been going over for the past few weeks. But back to the daily time frame. So there's a couple reasons why I'm still bullish and expecting moves to the top side of this little ascending triangle or the measure move to play out. And the first one, we got the silver cross here. And as you can see, the last few silver crosses have produced some fairly nice moves. If you just blindly bought so when it crosses down, that's when you sell, right? When it crosses up, that's when you buy. But this one produced a 34% move to the downside. If you blindly bought right here, as soon as the cross was confirmed, that one produced a 52% move, or 56% move to the upside. And of course, this one right here, if you blindly sold, wasn't as big of a move, but hey, I'd say 28% is not bad. And then more significantly, this last, let's see if I can make this a little bigger for you. Or can I? This last silver cross coming back from right there, and you can see it more better now. So the silver cross started here at $8,000, or let's say let's call it 8,700. And well, that one took a measure move all the way up to this high right here at $40,000 before we even had the first pullback. But the silver cross did not cross back to the downside until, Bitcoin was right here at about 40,000. Call it 40,000. So 8,000 to 40,000, not a bad move. And guess what? Technical analysis doesn't always work out. Doesn't always work. TA is not an exact science. It's more of an art form. And you want to use more than just one indicator to kind of make your trading ideas real, in my opinion. But that is one reason to stay bullish here. We got the silver cross here playing a test out. That is actually a perfect cross. And that's exactly what you want to see is price action get sucked into the cross and then spit back out. And hopefully we'll be spit back out to the upside next week. What else that I want to bring up here? So that is on the daily time frame. Now let's get on back over something we've been repeating over and over and over on the channel here is the 5-day BBWP along with our momentum oscillators here. And on the 5-day, what we have here is extremely low volatility. So again, this indicator, BWP, which again you can get for free, is a volatility. It measures the width percentile on the Bollinger Bands. And whenever we've seen extremely low volatility, it's resulted in nothing less than about a 40% move to the upside or to the downside. And when you see BBWP this low regains the exponential, it's actually a perfect signal telling us that that big volatile move is about to happen. What else has recently happened that kind of gets me a little bullish is you got guys like Michael Saylor. I think he just bought another $200 million worth of Bitcoin. And then you got the Luna Foundation, which we've been talking about Luna for some time, but don't quote me here, but measures are saying that they got funded for about $2 billion. They bought $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. They've got another $1.3 billion that they are planning to allocate to Bitcoin, or I think they're planning to get their Bitcoin reserves up to about $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. And that is very similar to what Tezos did and what Ethereum did. Some of the largest rounds of funding that we've seen in the cryptocurrency land. I believe Ethereum, when they got started, they raised $20 million. They bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and I'm sure they bought some Ethereum. And then you've got Tezos, which is symbol XTZ. I'll just pull it. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Playing out nicely. Very nice. Congratulations to all the people out there that jumped on board with Tezos, under $3. We've been saying, look, that's a macro low, and well, you can see these higher lows all the way through. So what's coming next? I would say probably a higher high at some point. Does it get all the way back up here? I don't know, but I did like taking a stab at some Tezos down there in the low $3 range. And so back onto Bitcoin. What else? So we talked about on the 5-day, low volatility gets you big moves, and when volatility expands, you're going to expect price to go in the direction of the trend. So where was this signal produced? We were saying back here, actually, in fact, somewhere around March 17th, we were talking about it on the channel and saying, hey, look, we're putting in these higher lows. As long as Bitcoin keeps holding these higher lows, we're expecting a nice higher high. And in fact, the measure move off the daily time frame was, again, how do you measure a ascending triangle? It's really simple. You just take the width at about 50% of the triangle full, and then you put it like that, and that gives you your target. What else do we want to bring up here is that, in fact, the 0.5 and the 618 right, come in right in these two, traditionally where your bull traps come in. So I absolutely do think there's possibility of a threat of a pullback here. And well, why is that? Well, you will have multiple drives of bearish divergence. What is that? When RSI is making higher highs and price is making lower highs. And you can see from this point here, if we cannot take out 52,300 on the daily time frame on this next major move, if we can't take that out, well, then we will have going back from this point here, 1, 2, 3. Wow, how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's already four drives of bearish divergence coming back from this point right here. Technically, probably should look to the move. Well, we should have looked for the move to the yellow 21, and we got that move. So I imagine if we get a fifth drive of bearish divergence, well, you're going to see that unraveling that we've been talking about. What am I talking about now? Well, it's open interest here. Open interest is at all-time highs. That's all the leverage positions on the board. And when leverage is extremely high, that tells us one thing. We're about to get a massive move. And when Bitcoin makes a massive move, we're talking about, 63,000 down to, what was it, 37 or 30,000. This move right here, we had a move from 66,000 down to 31,000 or 36,000. I don't know. This isn't looking. I don't know if my brain's quite working here yet this morning, but all this kind of chart tells us, and you can go here to cryptoquant.com and make a free account, and you can track open interest. It's really easy to do, but it's just another underlying indicator we like to look at. So we know leverage is way up there. Why? Open interest is currently sitting at 13.6 billion. What else do we want to take a look at is some of the funding rates here. Funding rates are slightly negative. So you are paying to go short here. So are more people going short? I don't know. Maybe that's an indication, maybe the sentiment in the market. I know a lot of people were getting quite bearish here as we had this little pullback after, Bitcoin had an unabated 30% run to the upside, right? Over the last 2 weeks, we had a small correction down to, it was a 8% pullback. So 30% up, 8% back, not bad. And, in Bitcoin land, that's just a hiccup. That's just a breather. Bitcoin taking a breather. And what happens when, all right. So what happens when Bitcoin is, consolidating and going sideways? That gives the stronger altcoins a chance to, put their game face on and show us what they got. And that's why we're seeing a lot of altcoins just really, really ripping hard to the upside. And Luna being one of them. But what else do I want to say on Bitcoin? So again, where does this idea, this trade setup get invalid? Call this a massive bull trap and back down to doggy town. Well, essentially it is, any kind of a closure back below the yellow 21 coming in at 44,000. That would look very, very bad for Bitcoin. And I'd say we probably retrace, down to this 37.5 range with the small bounce and probably kicks it all the way back down to, 33 to, even 30,000, because there's so much leverage in the market. There's so much unwinding that needs to happen. So what typically or what's happened right here, all these short positions that went short, if they didn't close those positions, right, they are trapped essentially, and they're holding at a loss. And that's even more leverage that needs to be unwound. And how do they cover their short positions? Well, they end up flipping around and going long. And so again, this type of environment, let's see how NASDAQ closed the week here. NASDAQ on the daily doing the same thing as Bitcoin. And have I not been saying Bitcoin and NASDAQ are highly, highly correlated? I mean, it almost looks like the same exact chart, except for Bitcoin actually is a little bit more higher. It's a little bit more of a higher beta asset than NASDAQ. So it moves a little bit more to the upside, a little bit more to the downside. And so, what I do like about NASDAQ here is that, look, we just made all-time highs and we just made the highest higher low ever. So to me, that's a little bit of a bullish thing, especially on the weekly time frame. Yeah. So, be watching out for lower high watch, because yeah, if we do confirm a lower high here on NASDAQ, well, that will look not so good. Not so good. And are we playing out any divergences here coming back from this point? Yep, one. So we got higher lows coming all the way across here. We got from this point here, excuse me. Did we make a higher low there? Yeah, from this point here, we've got higher low, excuse me, 1, 2. So that's 2 drives of hidden bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. And will that get us a shot to the top side of the range? Typically, that gets you a shot to the 21, but we are in a more volatile market, and we've got Stokes turning up, volatility coming down. So that does tell me something, that this could be more of a bit of a corrective bounce, right? So what we do want to see is volatility tick back up next week. And we do not, I repeat, especially on the daily time frame here, we do not want to see NASDAQ come back and close below the breakout level of 14,055. I would not be surprised if we got a test down there sometime early part of next week. But any kind of a daily closure back above this high on, call it a higher low or whatever you want to call it. This last daily closure, so on Monday, let's say we open up, which, by the way, NASDAQ futures will open up alongside Bitcoin futures on, it's usually about 3 p.m. on Sunday Pacific time. So if you want to start again, if you want to start working again on Sunday afternoon, diving into these charts, well, that's what I'll be doing, because Bitcoin never sleeps. Anyways, so let's keep an eye on NASDAQ. The other thing we've been talking about is the US dollar, which we did say, hey, look, if the dollar comes down here the next, few days and breaks 97, this region right here, really, I might want to put this down to right here. And I would say, look, if US dollar can break to the downside next week and the US dollar is the one that is bearish, that'd be great for Bitcoin. That would line up right with Bitcoin heading up to the $52,000 to $55,000 region. Now, if we do get a daily closure on the US dollar back anywhere above here, the measure move off of that is going to be back up at $100, and that's in fact where I do think the dollar is going to head. Bitcoin and dollar have not been correlated, as inversely as in times past. So I think that has a bit to do with the war. And from what I understand, Mr. Putin is kind of rethinking his ideas about war. He's destroyed his currency. He's destroyed he's destroyed the economy, his stock market, his currency. But that I don't really think he cares. I mean, I'm a little bit torn. I have no idea. I'm not a war expert. I don't know Mr. Putin. I don't know any of the ins and outs in war. But all I do know is the dollar's been holding strong above this region at 97 cents, trading in a range. And I do imagine if it ranges a bit more, that could be good for Bitcoin and for stocks. But what else did I want to bring up? So dollar, NASDAQ, Bitcoin, again, just following up on coin. If we do see any kind of a daily closure back below the yellow 21, 44,000, that's going to look good for a quick move down to somewhere in this region along this trend line. If that trend line breaks, I would say this this could get quite inverted here very quickly. And, we're talking about targets down to about 32,000. All right, that's it for Bitcoin. I'm going to bring up the next thing here, Mr. Luna, which we have been calling this. And we did say, look, hey, as long as Luna is holding these higher lows, very likely we were going to get an explosive move. We had extremely low volatility. And again, when you get low volatility in cryptocurrency land on a major asset like Luna, which is the strongest large cap altcoin in all of cryptocurrency when it comes to gains, charts, founders, people getting behind the project. I think here I'm going to go to Coin Market Cap here. That's wrapped Luna. Let's take a look at. Let's just go to the front page, and what I'm showing you here is Coin Market Cap, excellent resource to research and understand what these coins are, what the market caps are. Highly recommend. Oh, and Solana is pumping here. I'm going to check that one out too. Solana up 40% in the last 7 days, and we're calling that one out as well. Luna's up 25% in the last 7 days, and here is why I'm saying, look, the market cap on this guy is massive, and it's the strongest cryptocurrency in all of the lands. The market cap of 39 billion. It looks like XRP and Solana just kind of I think Luna's been coming in at number 8 for a while. Cardano was up a bit higher, I believe, and just got knocked off by XRP and Solana. Well, and BNB, look at BNB up there. Anyways, if you're in the top 10, even the top 20, you've got strength. Very likely. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Because some of these coins like Cardano and Doggy Coin and Shibi Coin, I would put those on the doggy list. But that's it for Luna. So what am I expecting here? Especially today over the weekend, as Bitcoin consolidates sideways. Actually, I think it's more appropriate to bring up a 4-hour, and this is my next target on the 4-hour. Any kind of a 4-hour closure above this guy, which it looks like we already got it. I mean, close enough is close enough, but wick to wick, the next target on this guy, 118. And that is, in fact, I'll probably be taking some profits right around there. And what do I have here? This is a position I'm running on KuCoin right here. 500K long. We're up 18 grand. Adam's down six grand. So not a big profit for the day. Adam has been slower than I thought, and I do think it has a chance to recover from some of this monotony here. But really quick, let's delete that and just talk about invalidation. How do we know this move is a failure? And the way you do that in my book, is you can do a bearish retracement from the high to the low, and typically below the 0.5, this is a failure, but back below 104 is not going to look good for Mr. Luna. And that's on a 4-hour time frame. If we look at it on a daily time frame, really, I'm still going to be bullish on this guy. Come on. Mr. Luna, I'm still going to be bullish as long as we're above that yellow 21 coming in at 96.19. I do think you could mediate that with a 4-hour closure back below. Really, where does this structure get destroyed? And Stokes, look, we got volatility increasing. We've got momentum to the upside here. I mean, we'll turn around. We'll cross down below with any closure below 107. Momentum to the downside. Yeah, typically what do these coins like to do? They like to have a nice little rally like this. And then they break out. That's your breakout level. And then they pull back and they retest the support. So a retest of 108 or even 106, something like that, is completely fine. But I would generally say this move is in progress. Let's take a look at the 12-hour. We'll cross down below 109. Volatility is decreasing. So could this be a little more of a corrective leg up? I don't know. But we do have momentum cross back to the upside and will be remaining up to the upside as long as we're closing below 109, or excuse me, above 109. Let's take a look at the hourly on this guy. And hourly, what do we got here? And notice we do have the silver cross on the hourly just arose us. And yeah, that does tell me this, even an hourly closure back below really below 101, this is going to come back down, and at least touch this trend line anywhere below that trend line. And, that would be a reversal in my book. And I'd say, more conservatively, you could use a 4-hour time frame and say any kind of a 4-hour closure below this trend line coming in here at, somewhere around 96 or 97 bucks. And that's going to look good for a decent move to the downside, somewhere between 80, 80 and 82 bucks. Or sorry, excuse me, 76 to $82. So a lot of it depends on what happens to Bitcoin. Bitcoin trades sideways over the weekend, and what happens? People go, okay, I'm not making any money with Bitcoin. I think I'm going to throw it in some altcoins. I'm going to put a little risk on and get on. So really quick, back to this guy here. How do we take profits on something like this? You want to take profits sooner than later. And the only reason I'm holding on to this position, let's see, on the hourly, looks like we're going to tick back down to 111, but that's okay. That is okay. And I do have a target on this guy here based on the 4-hour. Excuse me. Back over here, just reiterating my own thoughts to myself so I can say, hey, here's where I'm going to take a little bit of profit just for the short term at 1.8. That says 119. So where's conservative? Where 117.50. So what do I do here? I'm going to go to my limit order. I'm going to type in 117.5 and let's just put it right there. That'll close me out with a $41,000 profit. And boom. So you can see that open order is right there, and we'll get closed at 117.50. We'll see how that turns out here next week. And these positions are diabolical, and I might, if I see a tick back below 110, I might just, say time to take those profits and run with them. But sometimes that's how it goes, and cryptocurrency land can be quite brutal. And unless you have a trading plan, unless you have a kind of an entry point and exit point in mind and a risk management, then I don't recommend you do anything but begin to learn, set up your trading view, set up your account, get something going, because it takes quite a bit of time to learn how to put all the puzzle pieces together. What else do we want to look at? Hey, why not look at Atom, which has not been able to break above 31. We just haven't been able to do it. Any kind of a 4-hour closure, even above 31.61, I'm going to look for a next target, actually, of this ascending triangle to get hit, which will be something like this. That'll get us a move up to 34. I'd say anywhere between 34 to 35 bucks is fair game. That's what I'm gunning for. And we do have what coming back from right here, the silver cross on the 4-hour. What do we have on the daily? We're about to get the silver cross on the daily. So do we have any divergences playing out? So we got higher lows. No. We've got coming back from this guy right here. No. So we're kind of in the middle of the road here. Momentum is to the downside. Volatility is extremely low. That's why I am expecting an explosive move. This doesn't tell us we're going to get it to the upside or to the downside. But I imagine since it is one of the stronger altcoin, it's going to follow along with Luna, right? How's Compound doing? Compound getting the silver cross on the daily right there. That's looking nice. And this one we've been talking about for some time. Got a test of the 9 exponential. That's great. And a little bit of consolidation and sideways is fine as long as we don't close back below 128. I'm looking for this one to hit a measure move, probably up to that 200 purple 200 exponential, which if we draw this out from wick to wick, next target on this one is 189 based on the breakout here. Can we come back and test support? Yes, absolutely. This one's going to be volatile. What else did we say we want to look at? Solana. Do I even have Solana on this new list? Zilliqa. Let's take a look at this guy. This has been a beast of a coin. I heard they just launched their new metaverse. Yes, everybody's going to the metaverse. Everybody wants to start eating their virtual tacos and KFC and Taco Bell and whatever else they want to start eating in the metaverse. Apparently, you're going to be able to do it. You ever heard the movie Ready Player One? Yep. Coming to a reality near you soon. Even you got Snoop Dogg talking about the metaverse, telling, I just watched a video about him talking about it. It was pretty funny. Very, very interesting. Tezos coming up to that purple 200 exponential. We're getting the silver cross back on the daily time frame, which is looking very nice. So I will, I'm not going to say much more about this one because, this one is actually breaking this trend line right here. So that is very, very good. Breaking above here on a daily time frame. Yeah, somewhere right above there. Anywhere closing here or higher today, I would expect, as long as Bitcoin takes its move up to 50 to 52,000, we at least come back up to 446. If that region gets broken, that's where I'm really going to start to look at this as a bull run, just beginning in Tezos. And, you got a deeper target of 588 right there. That would look nice. I could see that happening on, as long as, again, Bitcoin does what it's supposed to do, as long as Bitcoin respects the TA and just goes ahead and does its job and heads on up to that $52,000 region, a lot of these coins are going to get a lot of love. What about this one? We've been keeping an eye on. Oh, I do like that for Mr. GRT closing here on the week in the next 1 day and 10 hours. And this looks like a macro low getting put in. Now, what we want to see is, we really want to see the week close above this area at 56 cents, even on a daily. That's probably coming in right here. Nope, I have it marked off right there. This one is what we've been calling a bit of a coin flip, but what gives me a bias here? What gives me the, okay, come on. Back to my regular tool. The bias here to the upside, and that's what's nice to have these indicators. Look, you're getting the silver cross here. You're getting volatility expanding from a low level. Momentum is to the upside. Do we have any divergences playing out? Yes, we will have some divergences coming back from this point right here, but it looks like we already got a tick above, so that knocks that out. Divergences coming back from this point here. So, do we test up to the purple 200 and play a little pullback, maybe come back down and test the cross, which is typically what you like to see. But look, it already got sucked in. Price action already got sucked into the cross here. Played off a very nice bounce, and that's exactly what you'd want to see. So I would say sideways and up from here, as long as Bitcoin doesn't break back below 44,000. All right, have I talked myself to death? I believe it's time to get on to some work with my colleague here, and we're going to take a deeper dive into some trades and some analyses. How's Ethereum? Oh yeah, we did hit the measure move off of this guy. I mean, this was This was very nice. We got the silver cross playing out. Not much of a test. Almost, I would consider that a test. Where's the short-term target on Ethereum? Next target is going to be 3660. 36. Yeah, 30. Call it 3600. Here's where I start to get bullish again on Ethereum, back above 3800. And that'll probably happen as long as Bitcoin heads up to our $52,000 mark. That's what I'm hoping for next week, guys. While I'm at Bitcoin Miami, enjoying the conference. There's a lot of people going, a lot of cool after parties. Going to be, eating a lot, greeting a lot, and wearing my good old Bitcoin shirt out there. Enjoying some beach, soaking up some sun. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be fun. So you guys probably won't see me, except for maybe a few short videos. Maybe I'll post on some of our social media if I get a chance, but I won't be back until, well, I'll probably do a video on Monday, and then I will be out until the following Tuesday. So wish me luck over there. What else do we got going on here that I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, we said Solana. Solana is pumping right now. Solana, getting love from some of the other influencers out there. Really, really, people love Solana. People think Solana is Ethereum 2.0. And we did have this measure move drawn out. I don't know where it went. Maybe it was on my other Solana chart, but here's what it looks like. And we are getting the silver cross on the daily. And volatility is getting up to the 90 percentile, and we will cross down with any kind of a closure below 134. So do we have any divergences playing out? Yes, if we do confirm a lower high here, there will be several drives of bearish divergence, excuse me. And, like we said, we like to see price action get sucked into the cross and then spit back out. And that's where you see your biggest moves. That's typically a nice way to play that cross. But how did we have this drawn out last week? Very simply, we had it drawn out like this, I believe. With something like this. And Solana, Ethereum 2.0, going to solve all the world's problems, going to make transactions faster, NFTs faster. Pretty soon, Solana is going to cook your breakfast in the morning. Just kidding. So, yeah, measure move hit. Extended. Cup and handle. Where's the target on this guy? From that high to that low. Okay, could we reach up to 150? Looks like it. And that is alongside, volume continuing to increase. Again, it is only 7:45. Stream's getting a little bit long here. Sorry, guys. Play it on fast forward. That will get you through the boring parts and get you to the meat and potatoes, the parts you want to hear about. What about Zilliqa here? What can I say on this one? I mean, this one's going absolutely berserk here. Volume is continuing to pour in on the weekly time frames. What about on the daily? Volume on the daily. Here's what I would say. Any kind of a tick below 17 cents gets you a move down to the 9 exponential at 14 cents. However, you know what they say, reward the strong. Get rid of your losers and reward the strong. I don't own any of this highly esteemed piece of technology here at all. But when something becomes in a blue sky breakout like Mr. Luna is, you expect big moves. And so I would say any kind of a daily closure above there will get us a target up to 40 cents. So we're at 19 cents right now. I do expect us to pull back initially from the highs here if we even get there. Looks like we're getting stopped out at the 786 at the moment. So where does the move get invalidated? Back below the yellow 20. One, coincidentally, the 382 coming in at 10 cents. So any kind of a daily closure back below 10 cents, I'd call the party over for Mr. Zilliqa. What else here did we want to talk about? Any other coins? Sand, not really getting the love that we were hoping it would get, but is playing out a nice little bounce here. And part of the metaverse, I actually own some land in the sandbox. How silly is that? I don't know. But wrapping it up on Luna here, this thing is looking nice. And technically speaking, if you want to be a longer term bull, the measure move off of this guy. Could you call this a head and shoulders? I don't know. Double head, double shoulder, maybe. What am I talking about here? Double head, double shoulder is something like this. We've got two little shoulders. Boom. We've got two heads here. Boom. And then two shoulders. Boom. I don't know. I don't know if that's even a formation, if you could even call it that, but I would say you could call this a cup and handle type formation, and that's going to give us a measure move, an extended target up to 160 over some time, talking over the next few, months, 3 to 6 months, maybe if you're lucky. And there's going to be resistance at these 2 points right here. First one being the measure move off of this ascending triangle, which is coming in like this. So call it 123. Maybe I should make this cleaner so everybody can see. So we take from the 50%. Yeah, that lines up pretty nice. Okay, what it doesn't line up with is a fib retracement, which depends on where you take it from. That wick to that wick, you got a fib coming in at 118. That's the one I'm kind of banking on. If you take it from this wick to that wick, yeah, that does line up right up at 122. So am I going to get stopped out early? Am I going to miss $2 or $3 more on this move? I don't care. I'll be happy with it. If I get out where I'm at, I'll be really happy. Anytime you can take a stab with leverage and make money, hats off for sure. But I do like this one. And, I would say, over the next 3 to 6 months, probably land somewhere up there as long as Bitcoin doesn't go back down to doggy town and head back down to 30,000. This one's going to look really nice. And in times past, even when Bitcoin has gone down, guess what? This thing has gone up. That was the May crash. Let's see what happened December. So December 21st, that was the Bitcoin dump. And this one continued to rally here. On December 21st, we rallied from $80 to 102. And I do remember that specifically. I was in Hawaii and I was trading Bitcoin even on Christmas. Even on Christmas, working on Saturdays, working on Sundays, working every day, all day, just to make all the pieces of the puzzle come together. I love what I do. I thank you guys so much for watching. If anybody tuned in, remember, we are not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. If you enjoyed our little daily analysis, click the subscribe button. Also, if you are interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin or other cryptos in your IRA, there is a link in the description below. Thanks and have a blessed day. Take care.